Hello everyone, welcome back. Now I know it's just only me today. Jackson's had some internet problems, so he was unable to get onto the Zoom call to cover his game. His game this week was going to be Manchester United versus Aston Villa in the preview. So I'm just going to do a quick little video about my game that I was going to talk about in the preview, and that's my Chelsea playing Manchester City, and they're going to be playing Manchester City at the Etihad tonight at 11:30 Australian time. So let me just do a quick run through of some of the aspects of this game. Okay, so let's go through some of the injuries first. So Chelsea, they've got Christensen out with COVID. He's ruled out, and there's no expected return date currently for him. Chilwell, Chalobah, as you know, Chilwell is out with a ruptured ACL, and he's out for the whole season. Chalobah and Reece James are both out with a hamstring injury, where although Chalobah has no expected return date, whereas James could possibly make his return this week. It's really depending on how fit he is. Although I have looked at a few predicted lineups, and they've said that he's not going to be making his return this week. So I guess we'll have to wait and see on game time to see if he's available or not. Other than that, we've only got one other player that's out, and that is Mendy, and that is obviously from AFCON. Now we look to Manchester City. Manchester City have a couple players out as well. They've got Mahrez out, obviously, with his international appearances in AFCON. And then, as well as that, they've had 7 first-team players that contracted COVID before their Swindon win. And these players were unnamed, but we can confirm that Foden and Zinchenko were 2 of those players because they are ruled out at the moment with COVID as well, out of this lineup for this game. So let's have a look to the predicted lineups. Okay, so we'll start off with Manchester City's predicted lineup. So it's a pretty standard lineup for them. So we've got Edison, their back 4, Walker, Diaz, Laporte, Cancelo. And then we look to the midfield, which I've said in previous videos is probably one of the hardest aspects for Manchester City to pick a predicted lineup for them, because they have so many weapons in that midfield. I reckon the midfield is going to consist of Rodri, Gundogan, and KDB. And then up front, you could have Bernardo Silva, Jesus, and Sterling. Just somewhere in between those 3, they'll sort out where they're going to play, and the midfield players will sort out where they're going to play. Obviously, Rodri will be playing more further back, and KDB would like to attack a bit more. But yeah, everyone knows what these teams like, how they like to play, and it's a pretty standard lineup for them. So I wouldn't expect anything less, because obviously they've only got Mahrez out. Zinchenko and Foden, they do make appearances in the squad. They have made appearances in the squad this season, but they haven't really made too many appearances. So really, this is just a stock standard lineup for them that they've used pretty much the entire Premier League season. Okay, now looking to Chelsea. Chelsea have had a couple changes in their squad. Obviously, they've had Kante come back from COVID. So I believe they're going to keep Kante on the bench for this, because it's kind of hard for Kante to break into the midfield of Jorginho and Kovacic at the moment, not being as fit as he would like to, coming back from COVID. So obviously we're going to have Kepa as our keeper because of AFCON. Mendy's going to be out. Back 3. So here's where the lineup starts to get a bit iffy, because if Reece James does make his appearance, this could change. But currently, I'm running with the fact that Reece James is going to be out for this game. And if Reece James is going to be out for this game, we're going to have a back 3 of Thiago Silva, Rudiger, Azpi. And then we're going to have 2 wing backs, and the wing backs will be Alonso, and it could be Hudson-Odoi, or it could be Pulisic. I mean, we saw Thomas Tuchel play Pulisic as a wing-back against Brighton a couple of weeks ago, and we're seeing him play Callum Hudson-Odoi as a wing-back as well. So it really just depends on what guy he's going to be playing for the role. I do think he could be leaning more towards Callum Hudson-Odoi, but with Alonso playing at a left wing-back, he could be playing Pulisic on the right wing-back, because that's where he played in the Brighton game. Like I said before, Chelsea midfield, Jorginho, Kovacic. It's not going to be any different to that. Those 2 guys have been playing well in the midfield. and it's kind of hard for other players to break into that midfield lineup. Now, front three. I mean, there's a little bit of a controversy whether Thomas Tuchel does play Lukaku after his interview that he's had, coming out and saying, you know, he prefers Inter Milan, which I'm not going to get into in this video because there's a lot of stuff behind that, and it should be talked about further in another video. But in my opinion, I do think he does play Lukaku this game. I do think the front three is going to be Lukaku, Mount, and Havertz. So almost a very similar standard lineup to what Chelsea goes for, apart from those injuries, you know, with Chalobah out, with Chilwell out, with Christensen out, which is a big effect to our defensive line, and Mendy out, who is arguably the best keeper in the league at the moment. So those injuries really hurt our team, especially Reece James as well, who is one of our better, our best right wing back or our best right back, and probably one of the better right backs in the league at the moment. So that's my opinion on the predicted lineups. Score prediction. This is a tough one for me because if you've been watching the channel, you know I'm a Chelsea fan. You know I love my Chelsea boys. It's hard for me to see Chelsea winning this game against Man City, considering our shaky defense at this point in time. I mean, we've got experienced guys in the back three: Thiago Silva, Rudiger, Aspi. But our wing backs is where we're going to sort of fall apart, I guess, and that's where we'll concede a goal, I believe, because Alonso, he's not really the fastest wing back. Yes, he's experienced, but he doesn't really have the pace that's there. And then if you put, let's say, Pulisic or Hudson-Odoi on the other wing back, they've shown they can play a little bit there, but I'm worried about their ability to track back and play defense, especially against this Manchester City team. In saying that, though, I need to back my boys, and I'm going to say Chelsea are going to win 2-1, or even 3-2, but I'll stick with 2-1. I'll stick with 2-1. But I do believe a goal is going to be conceded by Kepa from one of the Manchester City players, and it's going to start from a attack down one of the wings, because that's where I think Chelsea's defense is really lacking at this point, especially if they do play that wing back role. Whoever fills in that white wing back is going to be difficult for them, because obviously, like I've said, Hudson-Odoi or Pulisic, they're not really defensive players. There are forwards that are attacking players. So to see how well they can defend against someone like a Bernardo Silva or someone like a Sterling or Gabby Jesus or KDB, it'll be interesting to see how that matchup is going to go. But yeah, I reckon I'm going to back my boys, and it's 2-1 Chelsea. Hopefully we can bring down this gap that Man City's brought onto the league, that 10-point difference between first and second place between us and Man City. So yeah, hopefully we get to cut that down and sort of keep the title race back on. I mean, if we do lose and Liverpool does win their game, we will drop to third. Chelsea will drop to third. So it's not an ideal situation for supporters of the Blues. But in saying that, that's my prediction for this game. That's my preview for Manchester City and Chelsea. I'm sorry it's only me this week. As I said, Jackson's had some internet issues. Anthony has been on a sort of hiatus, but he will be coming back very soon, and we're trying to get him into the preview videos as well, so he can be doing some previews about Manchester United, because we really like to hear his opinions on Ralph Rangnick, how he's going, and how his gag and press formation has been implemented at Manchester United, and how Manchester United can benefit from that gag and press. So keep an eye out on the channel, everyone, and hopefully you'll be seeing us three back together very soon. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.